I'm Reena and I'm at the Clay Art Center, and I'm standing at the entrance of our gallery and want to introduce you to the exhibition that I curated. It's called Rewind, and 2017 is our 60th year anniversary. We were founded in 1957 by Catherine Choi, and here's an image of her throwing on a traditional kick wheel. And Catherine came here after leaving her job at Newcomb College to start the center, and she was, her partner was Henry Okamoto, so together they had this idea, and the center was born in 1957, and for the last 60 years it's been serving artists and been educating the people in the community in how to make pots and sculpture, and so we're really looking back on them as our great inspiration, and seeing, now I'm going to walk you through the gallery and see who else followed through in the next 60 years. So when the two of them came, there was no center dedicated to ceramic arts in the East Coast. So this was like the first one that was founded. So it was quite a feat, the fact that Catherine thought about even doing this. And when she came from Newcomb College, she was really very famous. And her name is Viola Fry, and maybe a lot of you have heard about her, but Viola, when she first came here, she made pots, and then she went on to make sculpture. But this is what she was making when she came here. So Viola Fry left Clay Art Center a couple of years later, in 1959, and moved to California, where she then worked at the California College of Arts and Crafts. But she was here at the time with Jeff Schlanger and some of the people whose work is featured here. And Jeff Schlanger was friends with Viola and knew her very well, and lives in New Rochelle right now. And I want to also point out some of the works that are in the exhibition, but I want to tell you about how I installed the show. So the show is installed chronologically. We start with the 50s and then work our way through the 60s, 70s, and all the way to the current artists who are working at the center right now over here. As I walk you through, you'll see that the work has come from all over the country, because the artists live all over, and so the center is nationally known, but we also have the artists who sent the work, they live all over, and you'll see just the diversity of the work that is featured in this gallery. So I want to also point out one more very important part that we got on loan from Jeff Schlager. And this is a pot made by Michael Frimkus, who lives in California and still makes work. And at that time, he was making stoneware, and this is one of his early pieces. And as you know, if those of you who know of Michael Frimkus's work, he makes lo-fi and does a lot of narrative work on his pottery right now. But that's him, and probably not many people know, but when Clay Art Center was founded in its early years, there was also a bronze foundry in one of the little areas, and this is Bill Underhill, who this is the only piece we have in the show that's not made in clay, and it's made in bronze, and it's because some of them, you know, did this method over here, and Bill Underhill was a student of Peter Volkers, and this was made at the Clay Art Center. So we like to remember we did more than clay when we first started. And Reena Murray's work is right here, and Reena recently exhibited at SOFA Chicago, and she does sculptural work and is very architectural, lives in Brooklyn, worked here in the 60s, and you know, is still currently working. And Judy Schwartz is a professor at NYU, and she spent a few years here right out of graduate school, and her piece is mixed media sculpture and fabric and fiber right there. And as we go along, you'll see how the work changes a lot. This is a piece made by Nicholas Bernard, who currently lives in Arizona, and used to live in Connecticut in those days, and it's wonderful to see how his work has changed over the years. Some of you might have heard about Leslie Ferron. When Leslie started, she was 17 years old, and she came to the Clay Art Center, and she made this work in perhaps maybe not exactly in those days, but soon after. And I'm going to pick it up and show you that it goes all around. You know, it's like a box, but it's a scene, a beautiful landscape scene that she's made with inlaid clay. And now she's a very well-known gallerist, but this is how she started. She started making work, which a lot of people probably didn't know, that you know, she started her career at the Clay Art Center. And when she was here, Barbara Walsh was one of her ceramic colleagues here, and Barbara works in Maine. And as we go around through the studio, you can see there's a great diversity of material, and there's pots and there's sculpture. So let me just keep taking you through the studios, and now we're coming into the 80s. This is Elspeth Woody, when ran the studio in the 80s, soon after Henry Okamoto died in 1988. And unfortunately, we don't have her work in the show, but this is the work of the contemporaries who worked along with her. I'd like to just keep showing you the work of, now I want to show you the work of Mark Leotold, who's professor at SUNY Potsdam. He makes ceramic sculpture in porcelain, and makes these discs, which is, this one's titled Feather. This is a piece of mine, and my work's made in porcelain and fired in cone 10 gas reduction. When I actually came and started working here at the center in 1997, and since when I became director, I started the residency program, and you'll notice that from the 90s onwards, we have the work of several of the residents who were at the center, and I want to just tell you about how we decided to, the work was selected. The way I curated the show was we invited all our former artists to send work and send images of their work. They all sent us 3 pieces each, and we have 75 works of art in the exhibition, and it shows you all the pieces. We're just going to walk around and show you the rest of the work. This is Steve Lee, who's currently the resident artist director at Montana, and he's just had at the Archie Gray Foundation, he's just had a solo show at the Renwick, and we're really pleased to include his work along with the others. Let's keep working through, and you can see the work has low fire, high fire, just a big range of wood fire work, because you know, artists fire at other studios also to get, you know, to fire up the work the way they want to do it. Here's a sculptural piece of Florence Suriggs, and she's, as you can see, she's made it in different parts and, you know, stacked together, and her piece is called Entwined. She lives in Connecticut. I love to think about some of the artists who were here during the time and the work they made then and the work they sent us, particularly Jeff Schwartz, who lives in New York City, and his work's changed so much. He's you know, obviously very influenced by his surroundings. When he came, he was from Pittsburgh, and clearly the graffiti style of decorating he does is very representative of where he lives, which is in Brooklyn. And that's just, you know, new work that I haven't seen of Jeff's before. And these are some of the artists who work at the studio these days. This is new work that is Corey Brown, who's still at, he's doing his master's at Alfred and will graduate this May. And this is his new work that we're showing for the first time. Some of it is in his thesis work. And I'd also like to point out the work of Lee Taylor Mickelson, who's currently the executive director of the Clay Art Center. And she does sculptural work that is very, she's very inspired by nature and the sea life, and does this botanically inspired work. And a lot of the work that's in the exhibition is for sale, and we're really happy that we've had lots of people come from all over the area to see the work and buy, and some of these are going to go into homes, and we're really thrilled to do that. And I also want to tell you that the show runs till March the 25th, and I if you haven't come here, I hope you will come. This is an incredible exhibition that shows a real incredible amount of work from all over. Some of the work here is from different artists, past residents who were at the studio, from Kyla Toomey, who is now in Massachusetts, Mari Ogahara, still in New York, lives in Westchester, Andrew Combs, who's in Florida, Shanna Flieger, who's in North Carolina, and Lindsay Skipta, who's in Ohio, near Columbus, and Michael Stromberg is just getting his master's in Florida, and Ron Geibel is another one of our past residents who's in Texas teaching. Not quite sure exactly, but so Erlene is a current artist at the studio. I want to also just talk about this one, which has a lot of humor in it, and it's a sculpture, and this is by Jane Cohen, who's at the studio right now, and she talks about Jane grows extra parts and sells them on Etsy. So Jane has an Etsy store, and this little fellow has gone shopping, and he has an eye missing. So he's gone shopping for an eye, and this is the store that's selling eye, and he wants to buy the eye, and he has the sign. The sign here says, "Do you accept PayPal?" So there's a lot of humor in that, and then she has these decals that she's made herself and had them manufactured by a decal maker, which says, "Absolutely love my parts." And Jane was a painter, but now she's painting on her sculpture and really still being able to do both the painting and the pottery and the making of work. She works in paper clay. So I hope you've had enjoyed seeing the show. I'm really pleased to have been involved in it and worked almost the entire year looking at the archives. And I wanted to show you the T-shirt I'm wearing, which we had printed, which has actually got the artwork of Jane Cohen did the artwork here. And this is in honor of our 60th. And we started the year with, this is our first exhibition called Rewind. And the whole year we're going to have different exhibitions which look back on our history and what we have done over the last few years. And in the fall, the last exhibition will be looking to the future and what we are going to do, in the coming years. And this was the postcard from the Rewind exhibition. So I hope you will come, and we look forward to seeing you here. Thank you.